Yo, back at the park, about to do my 5 miles, 300 push-ups, and 20-pound vests. Just sitting here making this quick video about the not the hardest, but the most difficult thing I ever had to do in life was mourn somebody who's still alive. Because your brain knows that they're alive, but your subconscious is like, no, they're not. When you mourning somebody who's still alive means you don't deal with them no more on any type of level, right? And sometimes that's hard for people to do. That's one of the most difficult things I've had to do, but it's for the better good. You really have no choice in some areas, right? Because what I call the 3 C's, which is counsel, correct, and cut off. In your life, once you have your discipline, punishment, boundaries, and standards, and people violate those, what do? You just keep letting them violate them? No, you counsel them. Hey, this is what I need you to stop doing. You correct them. Hey, I need you to, this is what's going on. And then you cut them off. Sometimes you go straight for the cutoff, because I believe children make mistakes, adults make decisions. So when it comes to adults, it's a quicker cutoff. You got like a counsel cutoff. It's like, boop, boop, gone. And because you're mourning that person, because in your mind, you're going through the process of mourning, like this person is no longer around me. This person is I can't just call this number and say, hey, what's up, and chop it up. This person, it's a mourning process. Like this person is literally dead to you. And because you're going through this process, it hurts. Because you still see this person around. You may still hear about this person, right? Why am I telling you that? When it comes to the black man and the black women do not want to be counseled or corrected by black men. The only group that can counsel and correct black women are white men. Let me say it again. The only group who can counsel and correct black women is the white men. It's that simple. And you see it all the time at work. You see it all the time in society in general. As I said in my other videos, black women were never ours. And we were pushed together by white men after slavery and said, hey, do what y'all do. They were never ours, man. No matter how hard you try, you still can't correct and counsel them to this day. It's 2024, soon to be 2025. Maybe when this video come out, it might be 2025. You still cannot counsel or correct a black woman if you're a black man. It's just not going to work. Period. Even when it came to Barack Obama and y'all, the women love Michelle. Same concept. You see the women now just running roughshod around men. Why? Because they cannot be corrected. The only time you see a black woman being corrected, she's typically with a white man. Candace Owens pops in my mind when I think about that. But when you see a black woman, either she's by herself or she's with a man and she totally runs over. Totally runs over and is like, oh no, I got a man. Yeah, no, you don't. You run that man over. Come on now, let's be real. So when it comes to building the community and making things better, why? Why would a man have to go through, black men in particular, have to go through all this process to get nothing? And we talk about the patriarchy. White patriarchy and black patriarchy are 2 different patriarchies. And black women experience white patriarchy when they go over the fence, as they call it, and they know it's a whole different beast over there. They run that show. And you will follow how this is going to run, period, in the story. I think Kamala Harris now pops in my mind. This is how things are going to be ran, period. We don't do all that shucking and jiving like the black men do. You will follow my program or you will be gone. It's that simple. Black men, the patriarchy don't work that way. We're run by our women. We always have been. This whole conversation back and forth about the black patriarchy. What black patriarchy that you know of? The far and few in between. Remember, I'm talking about the masses. Now, you have your uncle here and cousin here who ran their house great. That's exception to the rule. So if your brain can't, not all. you're on the wrong page. You're on the wrong channel. Go to some other channel that have low IQs to help you to understand. If you don't understand what I'm trying to say. Black men have all the responsibility of patriarchy, but none of the authority. Let me say that again. Black men have all the responsibility of patriarchy, but none of the authority. They can't institute anything. Because the second a black man tries to step up or do something, what happens? I'm going to call the law. I'm going to call the police, or I'm going to do this and do that. And then here comes the white patriarchy comes in and straighten that shit out. It's that clean and it's that simple. That's a lot of reason why a lot of these women deal with men that they're over top of. That's why you have all these prison sites and shit like that, or men who ain't got their life together, and women go with those men because they have an edge over them. Because they know they have that edge. It's harder to deal with a man who has his shit together. See, when you're not a Build-A-Bear now, and what I mean by Build-A-Bear, when your life ain't together and you're that's all over the place, women love those type of men because they know they can always use that as advantage over top of them. But when you're a man who has their life together, they tend to shy away from that. Right? You see that all the time too. Because what it does is shines a light on their inadequacies. And they don't like that. Well, he has a routine, this is what he does, he's accomplishing, and it makes them look inadequate. Black women don't like that. Period. They don't. So in trying to step up and be better, they'd rather be with a man who has less and is not all glued together. That's where you get the Pookies and Ray Rays and why they running through the neighborhoods and running through the women like they do. Why do you think that is? This isn't rocket science. I'm not making this stuff up. You see it every day. That's when where are the good men at? You don't want the good men. They're around here. You don't want them. And it goes back to building a community. It's going to be the ELs like me, educated lames, who are going to build the community. Pookies and Ray Rays are not trying to build a community. It's going to be the educated lames who are going to build the community. But as long as you don't want to take correction or counsel, we're going to go where we're appreciated. No, you can't handle a strong black woman. You can't handle a strong, you goddamn right. Who wants to go out and kill dragons and then have to come home to one? We got to deal with all the bullshit we dealing around here because of the quote unquote patriarchy that we are responsible for, quote unquote, and they come home and deal with that. What man who's following his Pam, who is purpose, aim, and mission, what man wants to deal with that? None. No man with their right mind wants to deal with a situation like that. And that's why we have what we have right now. That's how there will never be a black community. The only reason why there was a black community, and there was black communities like Tulsa, I keep using Tulsa because that's the only one y'all really remember, is because the black men said, we're going to do this and we're going to do this, that, and the other. And the black women just fell in line because at that time they didn't have all the opportunities and things that they have right now today. Now that you have more opportunities and they can be away, the Civil Rights Act and the double minority and get your own bank accounts and houses and jobs, and they don't need that no more. You're not going to have a black community again. The black women at that time were not able to do the things that the black women of today. So for them to fall in line, it was out of necessity. It wasn't because they wanted to. There's a difference. Doing something out of necessity is well different than doing it because you want to. All right? So let's go ahead and squash that too. Black women do not want to be counseled or corrected ever by a black man. They just don't. So that's why there'll never be a black community. So let's stop saying that. It sounds good because people say, oh, yeah, we didn't come together. We need to come together. We're never going to come together. Never. I said never, and it ain't never going to happen. Because you got to be able to be what? Counseled and corrected. So you're never going to come together. This isn't rocket science. This is how life is. I don't make this stuff up. I see it every day. You see it every day. Don't make this harder than what it has to be. This is too easy. This is a slam dunk, a home run. Why am I telling you all this? Men, save yourselves. Do what you got to do what's best for your mental health. It's difficult to mourn someone who's still alive, but you have to do what you have to do what's best for your mental health. Stress is real. You will die trying to get somebody on your page. I promise you that. There ain't many promises and guarantees I make. I promise you will have death and taxes, and you will definitely die trying to get somebody on your page. Do what you have to do what's best for you. Anything other than that is non-negotiable. Discipline, punishment, boundaries, and standards. When you have your own personal discipline, punishment, boundaries, and standards, and somebody doesn't follow that, it's time to counsel, correct. They keep happening, cut off. It's difficult to mourn somebody who is still alive. I know. I do it every day. I can name off the top of my head at least 6 people right now who I am mourning, and they are still alive. 6. Probably more than that, because some of the people I don't even think about. But I'm like, yeah. Because after a while, you kept telling your subconscious these people are no longer around. At a certain point, your subconscious is going to be like, that's why I always tell you, don't lie to your subconscious. Don't lie to yourself. When you lie to yourself, you're lying to your subconscious. Don't do that. At a certain point, when you stop lying to yourself, your subconscious, it's a wrap. So when I tell myself, hey, I'm no longer around this person's no longer around in my life, I followed the steps that I normally follow through with counseling and correction. The next is cut off. Because children make mistakes, adults make decisions. Men, you have to get yourself together. No one's coming to save you, bro. No one's coming to save you, bro. You have no idea. No one's coming to save you. No one. You'll be at a bridge somewhere underneath a bridge, 10th Street, 14th Street bridge down here in Atlanta, or gone to a shelter. They're not going to feel sad for you. It's going to be like, oh, well, especially if you were doing good and now you're not. They're almost rooting for your downfall. That's something else. Black women will root for your downfall. At the same time, tell you how much they love you. When you start to know yourself and your discipline, punishment, boundaries, and standards, when you start getting peace of mind, when you get on PAM, purpose, aim, and mission, you'll start to see that stuff. You'll be like, no, we love you and this, that, and the other. But at the same time, you're like, y'all weird way of showing it. Well, okay. Counseling, correction, cut off. Discipline. Thinking about something right now. Discipline, punishment, boundaries, and standards are the people who I cut off, man. And I made it very clear that I communicate very well. I think I communicate, even with you. I think I communicate pretty well. I communicate pretty well. So if a person has a problem with me, I'll communicate what's the issue. No, I'm not going to change this, that, and the other. What are you going to do? You're going to continue to be who you are? Okay, we're going to just call this an end right now. Like, it's like that? Yeah, it's like that. Because the path that I'm on, you don't want to be on that path. There are people who are going to fall off. I'm going to make a video about the rapture. We are in the rapture. Right now we're in the rapture. Not the whole God rapture. We're in the mental rapture. The mental health rapture. The mindset rapture. When you're trying to move up, people are going to fall off. And that's where the whole mourning somebody is going to come from. Because if you stay around them, good luck with that. That's going to stress you out even more. And just bring your inevitable end faster. You can either die standing up or die on your knees. I'm not dying on my knees. I'm not trying to please somebody who you're not going to ever be able to please. Anyway, we got here to the park, burn off some energy, clearly, and I'm out.